Going back now to our top story this evening, Trade Union Federation, South African Federation of Trade Unions says the national shutdown planned for Monday will send a strong message to government that South Africans will no longer stand by as the country goes down. Saftu supports the Economic Freedom Fighters' call for government to urgently address the many problems facing the country. For more on this, we're joined in studio by Nontembeko Luzipo, who's the Saftu Deputy General Secretary. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Good evening, Paul, and good evening to your listeners. And thank you for allowing us some view from your studios.
Yeah. You've joined hands with the EFF in their call for the national shutdown. How is it going to work logistics-wise? Are you part of the same group of people? Will you be calling on your members to randomly gather from wherever they are? What is the plan?
Look, the plan is as follows. We must indicate that after receiving the letter or the invite from the EFF, fortunately, we were on our way to the National Executive Committee, which is a structure that takes decision in between congresses. That was on the 27th to the 27th of February to the 1st of March. And based on the reasons that were tabled by the EFF, the National Executive endorsed that we should not join, but we should participate on the national shutdown that is called by the EFF. Not only that the EFF called for that. If you remember, we should take you back that on the 24th of August last year, we had also a national shutdown, and fortunately at the time, it was only the trade unions that were part of that, where COSATU also joined us, and we were calling for many things within the government, including the load shedding that has escalated this year. If you see, we have reached a higher stage, stage 6, and we're approaching stage 8, and only God knows what happened that today we're told that the load shedding is going down. Yeah. Maybe we can say thank you to the 20th of March. There is something that is making sense. But we're not going to be deterred. We're not going to stop. What Saftu has done then was to make sure that all the workers will be protected in terms of securing Section 77, so that anyone or any worker who feels that he is a South African and he can see that the state that we are in, it is going to a state of a failure. One cannot dispute the fact that we need to agree that we are in a failed state as the country. When you check the number of crime, I'm sure you are aware that almost more than 80 people have been killed in the country. And the process of persecution is a frustration. Many families, including the families of the politicians, they are losing their family members without anyone being arrested. Secondly, the rape. Many of us, we don't walk safely in the country. We wake up, we need to make sure that amongst the clothes that we put on, also fear is part of what we have to wear, so that we are scared that we are getting raped. So many things, the rate of unemployment, it tells us the country that is going in a direction that we could not allow. We cannot fold arms. It tells you that things are not normal, and we cannot allow to normalize things that are not normal. That is why Saftu said it is fine, we join, but we did not give the EFF a blank check. We said we don't want this to be a political stance. We don't want it to be sectarian. Involved all the working class formations. As you have seen maybe this morning, we had a press briefing and many working class formations were there, yes, including those that are asking that, what are you saying, comrades, about the people that are selling your fruit on the streets? Those were people that were there. They were indicating their frustration to say, we rather not sell it on that day, because what we are selling, we don't have shelter. We can't keep them fresh for longer term. That is why people, they opt to buy somewhere. They've got also their concerns within the government. So that is why we said to EFF, extend the scope. It should not be sectarian. And for your information, EFF has come back to us to say, we even wrote to the COSATU. I'm not sure what is the response. Maybe the EFF can indicate what is the response of COSATU, because workers of COSATU, they are affected. They are workers as well. They are being part of the petrol increase, unaffordability of food, the income is not going up. Maybe you have seen the strike of Nehau, despite many courts battles, but Nehau was saying that this is not going to end up until we listened to, because that was the process of undermining the bargaining engagements. So that is why Saftu is saying that we are joining based on those, because it would have not made any sense, because on the 24th of August, when we did the assessment, also another decision that was taken by the NEC was to say that maybe we should call for a 3-day strike. They call it la, meaning that we'll sleep on the streets until we are ahead. So it could not make any sense not to join or not to participate when the EFF is saying that, look, we are crying for the same thing. Why can't we come together and make one loud voice instead of crying in our own corners?
Well, are you concerned at all about some of the repercussions in coming out in one loud voice? I mean, we know that EFF Nat Joints, for instance, has addressed the media this evening saying that to say that this is going to be a national shutdown is misleading. Everything's going to operate as normal. They are out in full force in terms of the SANDF and the SAPS. Is it a concern for you that should chaos, should it all descend into chaos, where would it place your members?
Look, we have been clear to our members to say we have short Section 77. Step number 2, we said this is going to be a peaceful shutdown. Mm-hmm. We are not anticipating any members of Saftu being involved to any elements of criminality. But also I must say that we should not be gun-pointed. I think the government is gun-pointing at us. Today there was a march. It was peaceful. There were no South African Police Service that was involved. Neither the South African National Defence Force was involved. So everyone should exercise the right, like the ones that exercise their right today at Tshwane when they protest, without any intimidation. And we should not label any working class movement that wants to exercise their rights as if others are gooder than the others. Because to me, this is the division of the society, that others, when they call for protest, it means that there's going to be a chaos. And others, when they call for protest, it means that they are coming peacefully. Those who are enjoying, or those who are beneficiaries of the current situation, the collapse of SOEs, at least they should make sure that we also exercise our own rights, because we are not beneficiaries. But we want the country to benefit, not certain individuals. Yeah,
because, I mean, words like, the EFF has said that they are hoping for a peaceful demonstration, but prepared to fight fire with fire if that is how it's going to all play out tomorrow. And also said that, they're encouraging their members not to loot. They will not loot, but, that business owners should not blame the EFF if anything happens, if there's a possibility of anything happening.
That's the same statement that we're saying as Saftu, that the business, they should not blame the only people that should be blamed. Hence, I'm saying that it looks like going on the 20th on Monday, already EFF has been labeled, or anyone that will be participating has been labeled. And we are not going to accept that, whilst others, they exercise their right peacefully today without any intimidation. Why others are given a different right? Are we children of a lesser God in this country, where others, they could benefit from being watched by the police and South African National Defence Force, and others, they cannot? Hence, I'm saying that all we are calling for is equality, because I think this shows the level of inequality. And they continue to show that we're not equal, we're not an equal society in this country. And that is not going to happen, Mpo, whilst you are watching. We'd rather be labeled, but we are saying to our members, make sure that you are going to a peaceful strike, and make sure that we are going to be every street and every corner of the country on Monday, because what we are doing, it is protected, but we are not going to be silenced by the people who are benefiting from collapsing the country.
Very well. Thank you so much. Let me thank you for your time. We're going to have to leave it there with Nontembeko Luzipo, Saftu Deputy General Secretary.